Kalamkari festival was born before 5 years, but initially it was looms, whereas I did only trading. I bought materials and I sold it for a kind of margin for it. But later on I felt that trading is not my area of interest. I should do something from my own creative ideas. That's how Kalamkari started getting into my business. Education is my passion. I'm successfully running a school, and then when I wanted to do something else, I wanted to get into food industry. Then I felt it was 24/7, so I wanted to get into clothing, whereas initially I felt that it should be easy enough. That's how I got into this business. So then slowly it got into a different structure, and I landed up doing Kalamkari. The plan was to do a business. Instead of plan, I should say that it is a dream to do a business. And for that dream, Kalamkari gave breath and life and soul and everything, I should say. When I felt no, I can't earn much money in education and I wanted to start another business, and when I was doing my research and everything, clothing was the best that which I came into the point, and I started trading. And later on I realized there is something unique should be done for to withstand myself as an entrepreneur. Then started Kalamkari. Educating the customers was the biggest struggle initially. Everyone scolded me saying that what is the big deal? What is that you are going to do with this? It's looking like an old cloth. What is that you are going to do with Kalamkari? All my well-wishers, friends and relatives were not at all happy about me getting into it more, because I was rejected everywhere. None of them accepted me when I went with my products. Let it be exhibition, let it be a sale, or let it be the walk-in customers into my store. None of them accepted initially Kalamkari. And the struggles of Kalamkari started right from my domestic level, balancing personal and professional life. As such, I thought it wasn't a cakewalk. Equally, even clothing field demanded 24/7. It wasn't so easy. So managing school, managing children at home, family, as well as getting into creating something new was a very big struggle. I should say that inspiration is not in the form of a human, but inspiration is my situation and environment, because always I have big fat dreams. Big fat dreams in the sense not only of making money, but make some difference. My presence and absence should make a difference. So that was my inspiration, the idea of making difference. Even to be frank, there is no mentor or anyone else, because always I have my own targets, my own benchmarks, and my own ambitions to achieve. So I always travel to achieve my own ambitions. I had chosen Kalamkari because it is an Indian art. Always I have passion for Indian art, Indian culture, Indian food, or anything related to Indian traditions. I really love to do it. It happened that I saw Kalamkari as a customer in one of the exhibition, and it was love at first sight. I really loved it. I don't know, nobody even picked that material, but somehow it attracted me so much. Something pulled me towards it. And when they told that the dupatta is 1800 rupees, my husband said, is it necessary for you to buy? It is just 1800 rupees and it is looking like a normal cloth which you wipe. Then I said, no, there is so much to say. Artisan is speaking through that material, so I wanted to get it. That's how the first Kalamkari relation and me started. As a buyer, I bought a Kalamkari product. And then later on, when I was searching for something new, that dupatta was my clue. There is something there that nobody know, which I liked it. So I felt that I have to do something with that. Then I started reading books. Then I joined in NIFT. So through that I got to know more about Kalamkari. Then I came to Kalahasti. Then I visited Machilipatnam. I met lots of artisans. I sat with them. I saw the process, how it is going on, what all the transformations are happening in the Kalamkari field. I have observed a lot. And then I concluded my research saying that this is what I wanted to do.